So you're thinking about moving to Jacksonville, Florida, but you don't really want to live in Jacksonville, Florida. You're more of a suburb type person. Well, today you're in luck because we're going to cover the top 5 suburbs of Jacksonville, Florida. We're going to count down from number 5 down up to number 1. And we're also going to throw up on Google Maps a quick shot so you can see what the area looks like. We're going to cover, what I like about the area, what I don't like about the area, and then we're going to jump in the car and do a little bit of driving around, show you some shopping in a top neighborhood. So you're going to want to stick around because we're getting after it right now. This is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything about living in the Jacksonville, Florida area. Tap the bell for notifications and subscribe below so you can be the first to learn about the current market conditions here in Jacksonville. My name's Jay White and we get calls, texts, emails every day from people just like you that are looking for help moving to the Jacksonville, Florida area, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We're happy to help you make a smooth move to Jacksonville. So let's get rolling. So let's get started with the top 5 Jacksonville suburbs. Number 5 is going to be St. John's. That is going to be the community, of course, that I live in, that I love living in. I've lived here about 5 years. Before that, I lived in Duval County in Jacksonville, and before that, I lived in the beaches. So, I've put all those years together, it adds up to quite a few. I've lived here quite a few years. But we love living in St. John's. We moved here for the schools, so some, family member could attend, great public high school, and she went on to get a scholarship to University of Florida, and she's still attending there, and she'll be graduating next year. She did dual enrollment and actually was able to use high school college credits which she earned in high school at the University of Florida, and is helping her graduate with her bachelor's degree early. The great thing about this community is, of course, great housing is available nearby everywhere pretty much. There's a lot of new construction going on, but if you want a resale home, you can also get those. They are building apartments in this area. They're also building, they're continuing to build townhomes. And the thing we love about it is the community that we live in has, really nice amenities. It has a really nice adult pool, swimming pool with laps. It has a kiddie pool, of course, for the youth. Has a gymnasium, a real gym, and there's a great sense of, safety in this community. It's quiet. It's in the northern part of St. Johns County, so you're really close to Duval County, and once it's like 10 minutes north of here, you actually are entering Duval County, which of course is known as Jacksonville. But we're going to throw a map up, of each of these suburbs so you get an idea of, where it is on the Google map. Then we're going to drive around, show you a little bit of shopping, and the neighborhood, a top neighborhood, of course. So, without further ado, let's jump in the car and take a drive around. I'll show you some shopping, and I'm going to show you a neighborhood that we're featuring, which is Oxford Estates. So, hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you at number 4. St. John's has A-rated schools. It's 30 minutes to downtown Jacksonville, 45 minutes to the airport. The population is around 59,000. The median home value is $352,000. The median income is $123,000. And the percent of residents that own their own home is 83%. Okay, so the next suburb that we're going to talk about is number 4, which is Ponte Vedra. It's also known as Nocatee. Nocatee takes up the lion's share of the Ponte Vedra area, which is just west of Ponte Vedra Beach. Nocatee is 25 square miles, and it's a huge planned community that started around 2008, and they're still continuing to build it today. 60% of that community is set aside for conservation and preservation, so they won't ever build on those lands. There's a lot of natural space throughout the community. I can't even begin to tell you all the amenities that they have, but I'll attempt. They have a couple of, they have a splash park with a pool and water slide. They have a spray park, which is just spraying with water. They have a full gymnasium and aerobics studio. They have a separate heated pool for laps, and they also have very nice retail close by, but it's limited retail. You will have to do some driving, so that's one of the slightly negative things. If you want to go to a home good, like Lowe's or a hardware store or something like that, you're going to have to jump in your car and drive 10-15 minutes away, because they're controlling the amount of retail space that is within that community. And you'll see why when you take a drive through there. Golf carts are welcome throughout. You can pull up to a Publix in your golf cart. People take golf carts everywhere for that matter through there. But they have activities going on literally every week of the year, particularly the larger holidays like Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving, New Year's. And they're almost all family-friendly events. So, they have parties for the kids. Kids are welcome. I've seen lots of folks, post online, at Halloween, how festive the neighborhoods are and how everybody gets along and participates. I have a friend that lives in Nocatee with grandchildren, and he just took them to have breakfast with Santa Claus, because that's the time of year that I'm doing this right now. But yeah, Nocatee is pretty amazing. There's single-family homes. There are some apartments. There are carriage houses, townhomes, and they actually still have some land that is left that is right off the Intercoastal Waterway. Those are estate-sized lots which are available, and some of them are preserved, and then some of them are right off the Intercoastal Waterway, and they're already pre-approved for docks. So you don't have to worry about getting the land permitted, perk test and compaction test and all that stuff that you have to deal with land. Normally you don't have to deal with any of that, and you work with the builders that are pre-approved there, and everything goes through like clockwork, and you can build a really great place. So, let's take a drive through Nocatee. I featured Settlers Landing, which is a great community there, and we'll take a look at some shopping, and let's get started. Ponte Vedra has A-rated schools. It's 45 minutes to downtown Jacksonville, 60 minutes to the airport. Population is around 22,500. Median home value is $440,000. Median income is $128,000, and the percentage of residents that own their own home, 88%. Okay, let's talk about number 3 suburb, which is Jacksonville Beach. I am very fond of Jacksonville Beach. That's where I bought my first home as a first-time home buyer. You know, my friends told me I was going to spend more money buying out at the beaches, but I really didn't care because that's where I wanted to live. And I had a good feeling, and I was right, that equity would appreciate rather quickly, you know, with a beach's property. And when I sold that property, I basically doubled my money on my investment. Can you do that every day? No, but I was able to do that, and it helped me quite a lot. Jacksonville Beach is what I call, you know, the middle mainstream beaches. It's the largest of the beaches associated close to Jacksonville. There are smaller beach townships to the north and smaller beach townships to the south. You will have a pretty good influx of people, you know, that come and go to and from Jacksonville Beach. So you're going to have a higher population of usage on the beaches, but the city does a really good job of keeping the beaches clean and, you know, free of litter. And they do have lifeguards. And I've done a feature on, you know, Jacksonville Beach, a blog and a tour and a map video already. So you might want to take a look at those. So I would say the biggest negative thing I would say about Jacksonville Beach is you will have a good amount of rental properties there. But of course that's great, you know, if you're a landlord or an investor. I'm just making you aware of it. There is a good mix of you know, rentals with owner-occupied properties there. But you know, if you want a single-family home, you know, townhome, duplex, fourplex, if you want to live off the Intercoastal Waterway, or if you want to live oceanfront, if you want to live in a high-rise condominium with its own private parking, you can do that as well. So, you know, let's take a look around Jacksonville Beach now, jump back in the car, take a drive around, show you some shopping, and let's get started with that. Jacksonville Beach has B-rated schools. It's 30 minutes to downtown. It's 45 minutes to the airport. The population is around 24,000. The median home value is $403,000. Median income is $100,000. And the percentage of residents that own their own home is 88%. Okay, let's talk about number 2 suburb, which is Ponte Vedra Beach. Ponte Vedra Beach is south of Jacksonville Beach, and it's north of St. Augustine, of course. It's just east across the Intercoastal Waterway from Ponte Vedra or Nocatee. Ponte Vedra Beach is going to have a lot of higher end homes available, if you will. You know, you can definitely go $1 million plus through there all day long if that's what you're looking for. There's some really great you know, communities and country clubs. You can do oceanfront living, you can do intracoastal front living. The PGA Tour has a headquarters there. There is shopping. You know, up in Jacksonville Beach, you know, you would want to head up there like if you're looking for a Home Depot or a Target or a Trader Joe's. Ponte Vedra does have a fresh market for a grocery store and Publix. Really nice coffee shops in Sawgrass Village. There's a lot of different types of housing there. Of course, you got single family homes, you have apartments, townhomes, villas, and there is lodging at, for instance, at Ponte Vedra Lodge and Club. There's a Marriott Hotel there. There were also hotels, of course, in Jacksonville Beach, and I failed to mention that before. But yeah, Ponte Vedra is a great place to live. I have friends that live there, and they absolutely love it. One of the only things you want to be mindful of is there is a limited amount of public beach accesses, which means, you know, the street ends that you have in Jacksonville Beach where you can just pull up and park, and there's lots of parking places and you can just walk right on the beach. That's more limited in Ponte Vedra Beach. There's a really nice beachfront park called Michler's Landing. And when you look at it, the spelling looks like Mickler, but it's pronounced Michler's Landing. That has a very large parking lot. It's patrolled, you know, by the sheriff's office, of course. It has, you know, bathrooms, restrooms, changing areas, showers, you know, all that stuff. It's a really great beach access to use. And as you go further south, there's another access called Guana, which is Guana Park, Guana Preserve. You can access down that way too, but that's getting pretty far south, closer to St. Augustine by that point. But yeah, Ponte Vedra, fantastic place to live. You know, lots of folks love living there. They wouldn't live anywhere else in the world but there. And let's take a look around at one of my favorite neighborhoods, which is Marsh Landing, and take a look at some shopping. Ponte Vedra Beach has A-rated schools. It's 30 minutes to downtown, 45 minutes to the airport. The population is around 27,000. The median home value is $585,000. Median income is $116,000. And the percent of residents that own their own home is 85%. All right, let's get to number one. Number one is St. Augustine. I've done a vlog on St. Augustine, a map video, and a pros and cons, so you want to take a look for those because it'll give you a lot more insight than I can give you right here, right now. But St. Augustine is an amazing city. It's like the oldest city in the United States, you know, in terms of age. It's had several flags flown over it, you know, internationally. There's a ton of history there. And St. Augustine actually comprises a huge geographic area. A lot of people think it's just that little downtown historic area, but you know, the county designation, let me put it this way, when I jump in my car from St. John's, I can drive for 30 minutes south, and that's all those areas are gonna have a St. Augustine address in that 30-minute drive. So, you know, there's tons of choices. They do have A-rated schools, although there are some that are Bs, but the majority, I'm going to call them A-rated schools there. There's a lot of different housing there, you know, single-family homes, apartments, you know, investment properties are available. A lot of people do Airbnb because they do allow a lot of short-term rentals there, particularly out of the beaches. So one of the negatives, of course, that I'm going to have to say is going to be the amount of, you know, rentals that are available. Some people don't like, you know, living amongst, you know, rental properties, I guess because of the turnover or, you know, something like that. But, you know, from an investment standpoint, it's a great opportunity. You know, I rented for 5 years when I was a younger person, and I, you know, was very appreciative of the ability to have a place to rent. So, you know, when people rent, you know, if they rent for a purpose for a limited amount of time, you know, that's definitely the best way to go. I mean, home ownership is ultimately the best way to go to build wealth. There's a lot of available housing still in St. Augustine, you know, via resale. They're still building new construction. I'll show you around town there, you know, show you a great neighborhood, which is Marsh Creek Country Club, and that's out towards technically St. Augustine Beach, and some shopping. St. Augustine has A-rated schools. It's 50 minutes to downtown, 60 minutes to the airport. The population is around 15,000. The median home value is $398,000. The median income is $67,000. And the percent of residents that own their own home, 66%. So I hope you got a lot out of that tour of top 5 suburbs of Jacksonville and the discussion. And definitely if you want to learn more about those areas, feel free to reach out to me directly. My contact information is below. We can do a dive deep on anything you want to know about any of those areas. Happy to help you with that. So remember, whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We're happy to help you make a smooth move to Jacksonville, Florida. And until then, hope to show you around town.